Lewis and Clark by Brazill. In January 1803, President Thomas Jefferson had sent a secret message to the Congress. He was asking of their approval and funding of an expedition that would explore the western part of the continent. Thomas Jefferson had picked Meriwether Lewis, who was an intelligent man and was commander of the expedition. Then Lewis had picked William Clark, who was co-commander of the expedition. Once the Louisiana Purchase was announced, Lewis was now able to explore land largely owned by America. Once Lewis was in Pittsburgh, he picked up William Clark and the other recruits as he traveled down the Ohio River. In the fall through winter in 1803, Lewis and Clark had established Camp Wood. The camp was for the crops and discovery. Lewis and Clark traveled to St. Louis to attend ceremonies formally transferring the Louisiana Territory to the United States. The Corps of Discovery leaves Camp Wood and begins its journey up the Missouri River. Under a gentle breeze, the Corps holds the first Independence Day west of the Mississippi River. The Corps holds a council with Yankton Sioux at present-day Yankton, South Dakota. Corps enters the Great Plains and sees animals unknown in the eastern United States. Near Bismarck, North Dakota, Corps arrives at the villages of Minden and Hidatsa. Lewis and Clark hire French-Canadian fur trader Toussaint Carabonia and his Shoshone wife Sacagawea to act as interpreters on the journey ahead. The Corps feel new temperatures at 45 degrees below zero, which is the lowest temperature that they had ever felt. In April 1805, Lewis and Clark sent a shipment of artifacts, specimens to President Jefferson, the permanent party. The Corps almost lost their boat, but Sacagawea saves all their important possessions while on their journey. The Corps reached the Great Falls of Missouri, around which the men must carry all of their gear, including the canoes. Lewis reaches the Three Forks of Missouri, which they named the Jefferson, Gallatin, and Madison in honor of the President, Secretary of the Treasury, and Secretary of State. Sacagawea finds clues like the Beaverhead Rock and known they are close to Shoshone lands. The expedition sets out for the Bitterroot Mountains with many horses and a mule acquired from the Shoshone Indians. The men camp near today's Missoula, Montana, at a spot they named Traveler's Rest, while they prepare for the mountains crossing to come. The Corps begins the steep ascent into the Bitterroot Range of the Rocky Mountains. After learning a new method to make dugout canoes from the Nez Perce, the men push off down the Clearwater River near Orofoni, Idaho. It is the first time they've traveled with the current at their back in almost 2 years. The expedition reaches the Columbia River, the last waterway to the Pacific Ocean. The Corps must run their canoes through Treacherous Rapids at the Dallas and Celio Falls. Believing he sees the Pacific, Clark writes, "Ocean in view, oh the joy." In reality, they are seeing only the widening estuary of the Columbia River. Having reached the Pacific, the entire expedition, including Sacagawea and Clark's slave, York, take a vote on where to build their winter quarters. They choose the Clatsop Indian side of the Columbia, and the encampment came to be called Fort Clatsop. After a winter of only 12 days without rain, the men present their fort to the Clatsop Indians and set out for home. Having found an easier route across the country, the men reached St. Louis nearly 2.5 years after the journey began and are acclaimed as national heroes.